Alright, good afternoon everyone, this is Higgy here, coming to you again with another altar video. This is the fourth one now. If you haven't seen the others, do go back and check them out in the playlist, they are cool. I am moving on to red in the colour pie today, and I've changed some of my camera settings, so hopefully you can see the contrasts a bit better in this one. And today I'm going to be altering a Volcanic Offering. It's got some tricky yellows and stuff over in the fire, detail in the trees, and then the pale blues up at the top. So I think it's going to look pretty nice when done. And the bottom is going to be kind of boring. It's just going to be black all the way around because obviously it's where the chard is. I might add some extra little detail in there. Depends how I'm feeling about the altar in general as we go along. You guys will be happy to hear I am getting a new camera. I've asked one for my birthday. Depending on the lockdown, I may or may not get it then, or before or after, who knows. But then I'm getting a brand new camera because this old thing's 10, 11 years old or so. And then the images should come out a lot clearer. The detail will be higher. You'll be able to actually see more. And I think when I do get the new camera, I'm going to do a stream of some altars. Again, I don't know how long away that will be, but I intend to do some live. Once it's all gone, once it's all got the brand new stuff, I think that could look quite exciting, and it'll be a good time to learn how to do the streaming things. Until then, I think I'm gonna do one more long video, which will be the green card that I'm planning to do. And then after that, I'm just gonna do the time lapses, and I'm just gonna have more in the descriptions of what is going forwards, because I run out of things to say as well in the recordings, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing or talking about, so that as well, I think I'm just gonna ignore that for now, concentrate on doing the art, and then afterwards, like when I'm live streaming, I can reply to comments, or if I've got a more involved description where people can comment or decide what I'm doing. I think that's the plan that I'm going to be using to go forwards. And I've seen a few other people from the altar sleeves doing live streams and stuff, so I'm going to ask them for some tips on how to make it good as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need a good camera before then, unfortunately, guys. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. But as I said, the quality of the videos should be a bit better because I fiddled with some settings. Hopefully. So I know this bit here is already black and I'm going over it with black, but just in case I do decide to add some details and like fallen trees, burning trees, that sort of thing, I am just going to go over the bottom, so I've got a layer of paint that other paints will actually stick to. And then up the sides, obviously I've got to cut off this the outside border here. go into there. So I've already gone over the edge in some bits. I haven't been very clean. Clean is the word. I was going to say smart, but that's not the correct word. It's clean. So there we go. That's the border done. And then up there a little bit. Like here, these bits are going to be a bit lighter. I'm going to mix in some browns and some greys, but for now, that'll do. So just to see the rough colour of my paints, and I know what I'm going for, I'm just going to get some of my orange, just plain orange, straight out the pot, and see how close it is here. Because this is obviously going to be the main colour, and it'll be the main focus of the eyes. It'll be drawn straight to this bright burning part on the side. I think that's actually pretty close. So it'll need a couple of coats because of the orange is a bit more translucent, so you can see stuff coming through. But that is pretty good. And you can see, obviously, I've got the yellows and stuff to go through as well. But that will come. Don't worry about that. Then I'm going to get some blue. So I'm going to do the sky bit next before I do the trees. Just because I want to give a little bit of space between the green and the orange. Just let it dry a little bit before I move on to the painting. Right, I don't think this is white enough yet. Oh, by a long way. So you can see it needs to be a lot lighter and a lot grayer, I suppose. But I have mixed some grey in there, so I guess I just need to add in the white. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to extend this along a bit, and because obviously this is going to be the sky that will be behind the trees. And for some reason it's not sticking here. And this is why we prime the cards. Because you can see right at this edge it's not sticking very well. Okay. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to do some cleanup on this one. Right. So, what I'm going to do next is add in some orange to this colour. And I'm going to slowly blend this sky. And it's going to get a bit more orange as we go into the corner, because all of the burning trees and stuff, behind, or the sky behind the leaves is going to be burning. Oh, I've added some. You can see a big blob of water there. Didn't need to do that. Right. So, if you guys would like to see more altars, more frequent altars maybe, or just more different types of cards, do let me know in the comments, because I have a bunch of cards. I have a lot of cards. And if I don't have the ones you're after, my local game store should have something that I can use. Or potentially even some of my friends might have cards if they wanted a free altar maybe. But do let me know, because obviously I can't change what I'm doing unless you give me some hints of what you think I should be doing better. If that makes sense. So yeah, do leave a comment. Do leave a like as well. Like if people like some of my photos and not my other ones, or some of my cards, then it gives me it's a way for me to narrow down what I want to do and what you guys want to see. So every little bit of feedback or support does help. Okay, now I need a lot of points. So you can see already, like all of the background bits I do are fairly simple. We're only 10 minutes into the recording, but the actual background itself is looking quite close to what it actually needs to be. Alright, so here again I'm just going to go all the way down, and it's going to get darker towards the bottom. And then I'm actually going to add in some orange here as well, because whatever this fire is, it's spread all the way across. So just like here. There we go. And then when I put the details of the trees in, it should look fairly natural to blend all the way across. Fingers crossed. Alright. So what bit I'm doing next is here. Because it was a bit too blue for my liking. So I'm going to have that blend into the orange instead. And then I'm going to have some lighter bits, some clouds, but I just needed to roughly get the colour back in line with what it was supposed to be. And then here I can actually keep it, I think, because it's a bit darker and it's going through the trees. That makes sense in my brain. Okay, so there we go, and I think that's roughly the sky done. It matches, and I've got some wisps in there that are gonna look natural once like the trees in and covering over the gaps. So next job, I'm gonna add in some yellow into the fire here. Oh, I can already tell the video quality is going to come out better on this one, because you can see the marks I'm making straight away, which I think is a success. I'm not the best with computers, so any little change like this is actually taking me a lot of time to figure out how to do. Which is annoying, but going through things like this, I am learning and I am getting better at it. So here I'm going to add some whiter yellow bits as well, but I'm just getting some of the actual fiery details in, because I think that's going to be tricky to manage, question mark. Because I think a lot of these details are going to be real tricky. I think I'm going to have to move over to my smaller brush already to start mixing in some orange into the yellow, blending the colours. Sorry, nearly fell off my chair, got a little excited. Yeah, so all the way through here, and I'm going to need some red for this bottom bit. I'm going to need some red to mark out the actual tree branches. And yeah, for like this actual detail, I'm not great at, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of splurge a little bit and just hope it looks right, and then if it doesn't, I'll try again. Because all the fiddly little details and stuff are genuinely quite hard to do, and it's what amazes me about a lot of these artists. When they do, like, obviously when they paint them, they can work on a much larger canvas and then shrink it down. But I am stuck with their cards instead, which I'm not complaining with. I love painting their magic cards that they have designed the artwork for, but it is a pain to add in details. Because they're so small. So it's when you see big artists like Klug or whatever, like their designs are just so good. The detail that they can manage to keep, and the detail that they get through like real small like this, just like, and then they're just going through, and it looks so good. Like I would genuinely love to be that good one day, and I might do if I keep going. It's got support, sell some sleeves, you know, have more time to actually progress and develop my art. That would be amazing. Like, ooh, that's good. Now it's too wet. Get rid of that. Get out of here. So yeah, here I'm just gonna be going over with the like colors, and once it gets too dark, I'll add in the yellow and go back up to the top and start again until I'm happy with all the detail on this side. So it might take a little while, it might not. Like, I need to make sure that all of the lines from the original border, the black border and everything, are invisible as well. It's another thing I've got to make sure. Like, the white has done a pretty good job. But there we go. So I've added some yellow into this sky up here because this is just a bit where the fire is a bit hotter. Right. Then I need yellow with just white. So, out of all the altars I've done so far, what has been your favourite to, like, which is your favourite card? Which one do you think has come out the best? I'd genuinely be interested to hear what people think about what I've done, what I'm doing. And they're not necessarily just videos as well. Like, what about looking through my entire gallery on my page? Like, which ones of those do you think are the best? Because I know I have some personal favorites, and they're not actually the ones that have sold the most, which is funny. But there's definitely, I think the Descendants Path is my favorite one. Like, it just came out so nice, in my opinion. There are a few others that are really fun to do, like the Lazav, with the lightsaber. I was originally going to change the name on that one as well to Sith Masterminds, but then changing the name stops it from being like tournament legal. So if I did ever want to run it, or my sleeve and someone wanted to run it, like, it wouldn't be allowed. So for that one, I stopped at just the lightsaber. But I still think it's pretty cool. Because he does look like the Emperor. I think that's what I styled it on. And hopefully you guys can see that as well. And it's not just me going crazy. But yeah, it's fun, and I've had a couple of people on my page asking for tips about how to start altering, like how did I start, and how would be best for them to start. And for that, I would say just sort of jump in. Like there's no right or wrong way to alter. Um, because you've got to find your own style. Like my style is completely different to some other people who some like just well pretty much any other artist. Like I do a lot of copying and extending, whereas others might just not be able to blend as well, but instead they just replace the entire artwork. Um, and I am gonna try and do some more of that, but at some point in the future, because I know I'm not as good as it. Like there are things I'm good at and things I am not, and one of those is things I'm not good at anyway is drawing real details. Which is one reason why I want to do this card, because it's got a lot of the stuff I do like doing, like the shading and the different textures. But it's also got a load of small details, like these trees, which I'm about to start doing now. I'm going to need some green. So yeah, I'm just going to do some vague tree shapes here. And then here. Because I definitely want to still be able to see the sky at the top. And then this one can come out this way. Because it's not like they're burning down. Um, they're not all left standing, so there is still going to be some gaps. I'm just going to follow the natural contours of these trees. And like put some darker ones in, because like this one here you can see is actually behind. So this one perhaps. And fingers crossed this actually comes out okay. And you can see it on the screen already. That's wonderful. So yeah, like that's the general idea. Paint in a bunch of green and then add in like all the leaves, and there's going to be some browns, and there's going to be like I'm like almost scratching the paint where the trees are, because I need to get that texture, which is tricky. And then over here, ooh, beg my pardon. And over here, it's all green, and that needs to be lighter. because then obviously like in here I'm gonna do some like more orangey leaves, like where the things are on fire and burning and falling down. But that will need a little bit. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry a little bit before I move into that. Oh, my green is now drying up on my palette, which is a little inconvenient. And then these are gonna come up like around here somewhere. So that's this one branch, and then I'm gonna have a couple of bits here, but I need a different green for that. This is the other thing that I wanted to do, because there are so many like different shades on these leaves. It's not just all one color, which makes it look a lot more springly. And it looks a lot more detailed, even though it's just the same like structure. It just looks different because of all the different colors. So yeah, so I'm going to slowly fill in all the gaps with different greens. And like this one here, it's just going to go. But then I need some black for that because it's not quite the right green. Yeah, I would like some tips, comments, feedback about what you want me to talk about. Because instead of just like me rambling on, if there are some genuine questions that people have, I would prefer to answer those and talk about those than just rambling on as I'm going through. Maybe I'll have to like figure out a Twitter. Which I can then announce things on. But then maybe that'll be after I've got my new camera and I'm actually doing streams and things. So as you can see there, this tree is actually coming together quite nice. I am going to have to put a bit more lighter specks in, because the greens have all sort of combined into one at the moment. Just like where you can see the barest bit of light popping through, the light, it will come up a bit lighter. Oh, I need to do lighter than that. That didn't do anything. There we go. So like here you can see a little bit of light coming through up here. You can down here. And then obviously up at the top, where there's just like the barest bit of leaves left. I'm gonna do a bit of that. Right. Right. And then down here, Right, then I'm going to need some darker leaves, because I've now got pretty much all of the light backgroundy bits done. And now to make it look like the rest of the tree, I'm going to have to bring some darker bits in. Just so I've got that to match it in and tie it and make it look like it's all one thing extended. Because trees don't just stop growing their branches and only have leaves. Like, there will be some of these darker patches popping through where the branch is covered by leaves, but it's not letting any light through. So this bit is going to take some time. I can't like speed that up. Well, there will be a video with it sped up, but during this one, like, there is nothing I can do. Like, I have to put all these little details in, otherwise it just won't look right. And then I'm going to need another bit of yellow, and it's just adding like all these little details in, like the berries and it's going to look super cool, hopefully. Yeah, so I've added some yellow in, and now, like here, I'm just going to dot in these lighter bits again, just to like blend it a bit more. So yeah, as I was saying a bit earlier, like, if you wanted to jump in and get altering, the brushes I'm using are from the Works. It's a shop in England. I think the entire set was £4. Because I needed some new brushes. Like, I'd ruined my old one. And because I wasn't sure what I actually needed, I just got some like bog standard basic ones. And there are 3 that I use majority. There's my small one, my extra small one, and my medium sized one. And aside for some very fine like detail or some crazy like big pieces, big areas, I almost exclusively use those for all my models. My artwork here, and yeah, anything I actually need to do. So like, brush wise, you don't need like the most expensive or fancy brushes to do good art. I like to think mine is good anyway. Like, as long as you find something that you're comfortable with, like it fits your hands well, it feels nice, and you can get comfortable while doing it. That's all you really need. Paints wise, I'm using Citadel Games Workshop paints because I have a load of them. As I said, I do models and stuff as well. and they just happen to be the most convenient thing for me to use. Um, so I do. Uh, I have some Army Painter paints as well. It's like another modeling brand. Um, and me personally, I don't like them as much. But that might just be because I have used Games Workshops for so long. I'm just used to them, and when I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, the Games Workshop ones just fit me a lot better. Um, but everyone has their own. Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own um, like preferred selection. So I recommend like if you've got some, just try using those because you never know, they might work for you. Um, but don't like cry about it if they don't. Like it will just happen. Like you have to find what works for you before you can like do it really well. Um, and I mean that goes for pretty much anything in life, to be honest. Um, you can't you can't expect to like go into something and just get it perfect straight away. As nice as that would be, it's just not how things work. It's just not how life works in general. Um, I've been painting now for 18 years. How 16 years. Um, so it's why my painting has developed. Like I look now and I've like gone over some models that I painted back when I first started playing Warhammer all those years ago, and I was like, how did I ever think this was good? But back then, when I was 11 or 12, that sort of age, it did look good to me, and I wasn't good enough to do anything better. And yeah, as I've recently gone over and started repainting some of them, um, and they've just come out so much better because of me being a better painter, because I've had all that time and practice. Um, just as with a lot of things, the more you do it, the better you will be. Um, oh, that's a bit red. And yeah, it's no different to that. So if you do want to go out and do altering, that's all I suggest. Just start, figure out what you like and what you're good at, and move on from there. Wish I could be a bit more help, to be honest. Um, but I can't do it for you unless you want to buy one of my sleeves, I guess. But it's fun, and it's been very helpful for me to try and get through lockdown, especially. Like I've learned, I was doing some non-metallic metal painting. Um, for it's a technique where you paint like silver armor or colored armor for like space marines and things, but without using any metallic paints. So it's all shading and highlighting and blending and all that. Um, and I started learning that in January, back when I started painting my big Archaon model. and he's not done yet. It's taken me a while. It's daunting because it's so big and um, an expensive model. You don't want to like ruin. But I did a couple of test models in between, and yeah, it's amazing to see just in that short time as well, like how much it has got better. Okay. So you can see down here, I'm actually changing my mind. Like this is a Hydra that's been hit by this streak of fire, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint as if it's like blocking this thing. So there's gonna be a little green sliver behind where the flames are spreading and going. Um, and then this bit I'm going to put in a bit more orange and reds just to spread the orange a bit further over this way primarily, because it means you're not going to be just stood looking at this side. You can now watch the progress. Right, I'm going to add some yellow. I'm going to do the yellower bits first. Four. And then now I'm going to add in the red. To bring out these darker blobs. And then I'm just going to go over with an actual yellow to highlight like bits, like where the flames are the hottest. Okay, so hopefully you guys like this video a lot more, especially now I've fixed the camera settings. Like I just like looking up at the preview screen, think it looks a lot better, but only time will tell if you guys do as well. So I'm doing the classic, do a bit of paint and then smudge it technique that I have talked about in my previous videos, just to get the yellow color in but not make it look real out of place, because it's now like here at the peaks and it's like blending into the darkness. So there we go, we've got that. And I'm going to add in a little bit of the yellow, the whiter yellow, just like the smallest amounts. Where the peaks of the flames are, because it gives it that little 3D effect. as if the flames are actually moving. Right, that looks well, nice, perfect. And gotta get some red. So I'm quite happy with this tree on this side now. I'm gonna see if I can do some trees on the other side. Alright, and I need to get some lighter red. Because I went way too dark, way too quick. Just to I'm gonna try and blend in this gap where the soil goes down. Okay, so I've got orange going over here, and I've got this little bit of woodland that's a slightly different colour over here. Then, alright, I'm gonna try and Right, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do my little toothpicking. Because of where I've gone over all of the edges, I'm just gonna erase that now. So and then that's gone all the way around. And then up at the top there's quite a bit that needs doing. So this is just a like this corner, look. Basically removed the entire border of the card. Right. So there we go, we're looking like there. We've got obviously trees up at the top still to go. And we're pretty much there. This has come out quite nice. It's come out quite like I wanted it to. I've got a little bit of colour matching to do in the sky as well. Just like in this middle bit. I think what it actually needs is a tiny weeny bit of yellow. Like, not too much. Because it looks a bit greenier. The actual card does than I've got it. So, what was I going to say next? Printed out a little note sheets of things people have asked me. So, one thing I did get asked was, have I used any of my altars in like tournament play, like GPs and stuff, and I actually have. One of the games or one of my friends, we went and we did some competitive EDH. We basically wanted to play EDH, but we weren't allowed. Like, there wasn't enough room, so we had to like join a group, and I asked the judge if altered cards were allowed, that sort of thing, and he goes, "Well, I'll have to see it, but it should be." And I handed him my entire deck, my entire Dragons deck that was altered, and he looked through it and he was like, yeah, this should be allowed." There are a few other cards that I play in like my modern deck and stuff. So there was Dragonlord, Jamoka, and Ataka that I use, and they were allowed in. I've done my Sigarda a bit more recently, and that's also in the sideboard. So if I was to go do another GP, I'd have to check. I don't see the problem. Like, all the names and rules texts and stuff is still visible. I haven't gone over any of that. But at the end of the day, it is the judge's decision. As with all alters, so it's like they do look cool and they work perfectly fine for casual play, but if you are competitive, it's always best to make sure, or take spares, so if the judge doesn't allow it, you've got at least still the cards to use. Right. So that's the sky done, that's this tree done, that's this done, that's this done. I've just got the trees up in this corner. So I need my green, and then I need some like browns and reds. So one thing I have noticed, like while recording at least, is because I'm not getting up and wandering around and doing things, the actual time it takes me to do the altars has gone down. Like, some of my old ones, as I mentioned earlier, the Descendants Path, that took about 7 hours in total. But then that's because I was getting up, I was doing things. Now I'm recording it, I'm just sat in one place and I'm doing it until it's done. And so this one, we're almost at the hour mark now, and I'm very nearly done. And there's a lot of detail in it. There's a lot of like color matching that I've had to do. Yet already I'm nearly at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this, and I can do the little show off at the end, and then scan it in ready to sell. On that note, like, if you do like my altars and it's not a card I've done yet, I am happy to do commissions. Because I've done a few in the past, but if there's a card that you particularly want done, I would be more than happy to work out doing an actual commission for you guys as well. Just message my Facebook group, my page on there, or leave a comment below, and then I can get back in touch with you. it's something I really enjoy doing, and I would like to do more. Like when I get all my new camera and stuff, I'm probably going to start altering more. So rather than just like one every few days that I'm doing now, because I've got to leave time for other things, but I might end up doing one a day, maybe even two a day, and like that sort of thing. I can work out. Like I'll do a stream maybe, and if I finish one real quick, I'll just move straight on to the next one. These are all possibilities. That needs to go lighter. But yeah, just let me know. Especially if you like them. Like I can get one done nice and special for you. I'm not restricted to just doing extensions. It's just what I prefer doing. Because I don't like removing what the artist has done. Because I feel that's like bad form. If that makes sense. Like I'm not opposed to like extending, like if he's got it here and like putting over the text, that's not a problem. I'm just not the biggest fan of like changing this image to a volcano, for example, because it's a volcanic offering, like someone being chucked into a volcano. Like as cool as that would be, that's not what the artist wanted. It's not what he's done. Or she. I've already forgotten who did Volcanic Offering. Let's see. Where's my sheet? Volcanic Offering. Eric. Yes. Yeah. So he didn't want it to be a volcano exploding. So I don't see why I would change that, because I don't think that's very nice or fair on him, to be honest with you. But then there are some art that I feel don't fit cards, so maybe those ones. I don't know. I guess it's a perspective thing. Right. I need to add some green. Yeah, if you have any thoughts about that as well, do let me know down below. Like, arguments for and against it, I suppose. And then... So, there's this... Okay, I'm nearly done here, guys. I'm just finishing up the last few little leafy details at the top here. Because obviously they're on the fiery side, so these sides are going to be a bit lighter. And then in here, I just want to add in some specs. And over here. And that, is this the right colour? Yeah. Just going to add in some little more details over here. Okay guys, so I think this is about ready to wrap up. So what I'm going to do, I'll give it a little, there we go. So we've got the volcano-y lava rush on one side, we've got the trees on the other, and the entire bottom I'm deciding I'm not going to add anything to. I don't think it needs it, because I want the top to be the focus of the image. So there we are. I hope you have all enjoyed today's altar. It hasn't taken very long. I think this might be the shortest one yet, to be honest. But if you have liked it, please like below. Obviously, any comments, any hints, any feedback would be great. Other than that, I will see you again in a couple of days. My next altar is going to be green. I've already pulled out the card for this one that I want to do. It's the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I think that's the name. It's the new Theros. Well, I guess that's not new. That was a few months ago now. It's the Theros creature that lets your lands tap for any color of mana. Because I got one and I want it to be pretty. So that's my green card to round out the color pie. I have started looking at some of my artifacts and multicolored cards, and I've got some ideas there, but I'm not set on anything yet. So for now, I think that's time to wrap up the video, and we'll see you in a few days.